Welcome to the Popcorn Talk Network, for the online broadcast network that features movie discussion, news, and interviews. Press 1. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies. From the Popcorn Talk Network, the online broadcast network for movie talk, and the schmoes know, this is Box Office Breakdown. Information and commentary on weekly movie box office.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Popcorn Talk Network. We're here to talk about the box office. I'm your host, Sara Stretton.
Are we?
Oh, gosh.
Are we here to talk about the box office?
So I'm kind of terrified for today. The Oscars were yesterday.
Yeah, that was a big injustice.
We have some disappointed hosts over to JT and Tom. Do you want to just start this off, get it out of your system? Or
it was Sly's night, and somebody made it not his night. I don't know what to say. I mean, the guy swept the awards, every other one. Spielberg politics. I thought Patricia Arquette...
That is the theory you're going with, correct?
Yeah, because he was the only one standing up and clapping. I think that this guy was in a forgettable movie.
Are you talking about Mark?
Yeah, whatever his name is. I'm not saying he's a bad actor. It's just, it was a forgettable movie. Sly was in one of the best movies of the year, and he destroyed it. He needed to win this. It was his night, and he ruined it.
You can't blame it on the other actor if you really want to go
No, the Oscars ruined it. No, he's fine. The other guy's fine. I have nothing against that guy.
Yeah, listen, I'm not going to begrudge somebody for winning an Oscar, okay? Because, it's a great moment in their life. But here's the problem. Let's look at the facts here. Stallone was the heavy favorite going in, okay? There are some Ryland supporters out there. It wasn't like it was like it wasn't like 100-1 odds, okay?
Yeah.
Stallone was still the favorite. Everyone else was like a far second place, and if there was the closest to like having a chance, it was Ryland's, which to me baffled me because I am a film aficionado.
Oh, okay.
I love movies. I love
we
performances.
We all love movies. That's why we're here.
I saw Bridge of Spies. The guy. It's not. This is where people because we're so outraged and mad that Stallone didn't win. People are like, "What are you saying? Mark Rylance was really good. He's a great actor." People have been messaging me saying the guy's a great stage actor for many years. He has a great reputation. He's apparently one of the best stage actors ever. And apparently the Oscars like to make up oh, you know what, this guy has so much prestige. Let's give him the award.
Well, they did that for some other categories.
Yes, they have, but at least those people had a body of work in film.
Okay.
Listen, a lot of people agree Leo did not really deserve it this year. I would have given it to him for Wolf of Wall Street.
Yes.
I would have given it to him for maybe something even earlier, like
Gilbert
Grape. I mean, he's a great actor, but you felt like with him and Scorsese, when he won, those weren't their best movies. Those were kind of
I'm on record saying
that
Departed is one of Scorsese's worst movies.
All right.
I'm kind of with you, but here's the thing. Stallone, he didn't. I understand Stallone didn't win in 1976 because he was fresh on the scene, man.
Sure.
He hadn't put his dues in the Academy.
He won Best Original Screenplay.
He did, but I'm just saying, it's 40 years later. He does the same role, gets nominated, and gives a great performance.
The best of the year.
One of the best of the year for sure.
Supporting wise, of course.
Mark Ryan's his role was fine, and also let's not forget he had the least amount of screen time than any of the other nominees. He was barely in the movie. To me, his whole thing, yes, it was very underlying and very subtle, and but for me, it was very one note.
Okay.
I agree.
All right.
It was very, it was one note.
It just boggles my mind how you could give somebody an award for. I mean, have you heard of Mark Ryan's before this?
I thought Patricia Arquette screwed up Mark Ruffalo's name. Because I was like, because I was like, what is she, drugs?
We rewatched it because the expression on Mark Ruffalo's face was so excited that we thought maybe he thought he won.
Because I thought she screwed up his name. Because she did screw up the name. I was really hoping that they were going to Steve Harvey it.
Have you heard of Mark Rylance before Bridge of Spies?
No, but I did enjoy him in this movie.
Have you heard of Mark Rylance before Bridge of Spies?
No. He shouldn't have won.
We are going to get into this show.
Tom Hardy,
we are going to be talking
Ruffalo,
about
fine. Christian Bale, fine.
I'm going to kick you off the show.
Sorry.
If he interrupts me this match, you have to mute him.
Sorry.
Because today we are going to be talking a lot. I'm sorry if I was a little harsh, but we are going to be talking about the Oscars. It's going to be splattered throughout this. We're probably going to do some top fives in that arena. We are going to get into the Oscars box office numbers from this past year. But first, we do have to do our job, which is to talk about this past weekend's box office numbers. We have to start there. So rounding up the top 5, just beating out Eddie the Eagle, it goes to 999, bringing in 6.1.
That's low.
Very low. It's just ahead of the Eagle, which is at 6.0 right now. Both of them were in roughly 2,000 theaters. It was both their opening weekend. But just neither of them really sticking it in there strong. Then going up to number 4 is Risen, dropping 42% to 6.8. So in that same neck of the woods. Kung Fu Panda 3 at 8.8, only dropping 28% because the market doesn't have any other animation until this upcoming week. Now it goes to Gods of Egypt.
Ugh.
The $140 million Swords and Sandals picture only brought in $14 million. Ouch. Ouch.
Yeah,
We got some big names in there, lots of money.
It's another Lionsgate tank.
Well, actually, though, for Lionsgate has kind of gotten a reputation for starting franchises, things that really take over, especially in the young adult world.
Sure.
This movie was pegged for being a franchise. That was the plan for it, and this is Lionsgate's one of their bigger flops.
Well,
and
the thing is, with this, the only saving grace is they shot it in Australia, and I think they get like a 40% tax break. So it's really not. It wasn't really that big of a gamble. I mean, don't get me wrong; they're going to lose some money here, but 40% tax breaks, it won't be as bad as you think. But it's still a monster loss. The thing is, nobody wants to see these movies anymore. The only reason why 300 did really well is because there was no real superhero movies out just yet.
and because it did something different.
Yeah,
visually.
exactly. And now it's the same thing. It's Gerard Butler. It might as well have been 400. They might have called it 400 and see what happens for it. But honestly, nobody wants to see these movies anymore. Period.
Until someone comes up with something completely new, I don't think and it has to be a risk that's not this much money. $140 million.
Risen looked like the same movie, and they did it for 20.
It didn't look like the same movie.
It did not look like the same movie
on.
at
Oh,
all.
I know.
Totally different thing. But something that is not losing money in the least, Deadpool, bringing in another $31 million. It's only dropped 44%. It's in its third
crushing.
week. It's crushing. Remember, this is a $58 million movie.
Crush.
That is just destroying.
Third week, 31 million. People would have predicted that the first weekend.
Do you guys think that maybe some of the numbers this weekend went down a little bit because of the Oscars? I mean, I know Sunday night isn't exactly the biggest night for movies, but I wonder if the numbers changed much from Monday to Sunday.
I think the Oscars were very was very interesting with the the Oscar so white thing, and
Yeah.
I mean Chris Rock destroyed it. He was fantastic.
He did pretty
I mean
good.
the Suge Knight stuff was great. I mean it's just so odd.
It was weird. It was kind of weird.
The whole the show went out with Public Enemy.
Stacey Dash thing
That
was
I
kinda
didn't.
weird.
I mean I knew because she obviously was with the whites on the white side of it. If there is a side.
Well, to speak to the Oscars factor, when you look at the percentages on Box Office Mojo, a lot of the Oscar movies increased in a couple theater numbers
would
and
think so,
also
yeah.
increased in percentage. So you're talking about Room, which this weekend it increased to 178 more theaters, but it also went up 42%. Spotlight up almost 41%. The Big Short up 13%. The Revenant up 2.2. The Revenant's already been doing very well
Yeah.
for an Oscar type picture, but those are all going up. So you
Yeah.
were getting some people with their last minute need to get
Well,
these movies in,
I
but not a
def-
huge amount.
Every time somebody wins the Best Picture and they're not in theaters, they'll get a re-release. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm for sure they're going to release Spotlight again this weekend. Probably they're going to increase the theater by a couple hundred more. I'd be surprised if they didn't because now everyone's like,
But it's on DVD
Spotlight
already.
It is, but I know
That's the problem.
But that's true. But it's still playing in some places. I've seen it.
It is, but now
They need to re-release Creed so people can get their goddamn shit together.
that's the
Okay.
truth.
and see what kind of mistake they made.
Yeah, I agree. But that's an interesting thing. I mean, I don't know why Spotlight rushed to put the DVD out if they knew they had a shot and they knew we were going to do a big push for,
Around a movie, it
That's
makes
true.
it more justifiable for something to win.
That's true.
So, you can get a fantastic
Best Picture.
maybe to increase word of mouth. Sometimes when you increase
Yeah.
the publicity movie, but if there's absolutely no one talking about it, it's not going to get noticed, and no one's rooting for it.
Were you guys surprised about Spotlight taking the win? Because I think a lot of people, the last few minutes there, I'll admit right now, I checked out after the Stallone thing. I was pretty much on.
Yeah, I mean,
I was out of it. But
I was on fire beforehand because I was on a different level.
A lot of people seem to be thinking it looked like it was Revenant's night, especially after the director won Best Director.
You know what?
Were you surprised by it?
At a certain point, I thought maybe Mad Max was going to take it.
Yeah,
I agree.
I mean,
with
I
you.
was like, this might happen.
That was kind of the upset I was waiting for.
Yeah.
I was like, look how many
I would have been
Mad
happy
Max
with it.
has.
Spotlight's a good movie. Look, my friend Nicole Rockland produced it. She was up there with an Oscar in her
Yeah.
hand. Pretty amazing stuff.
That's
she was
amazing.
scared. She was amazing. And she worked really hard to put this movie together for the last 10 years. And congratulations to her because that's a shining moment in anybody's career. But I just wasn't really moved by it.
Into that was one of Chris Rock's bits where he interviewed people off the streets
Yeah.
and what
That
they
was fantastic.
had seen. And so, because we are a box office show, here are some of the numbers. I'm just going to kind of go through them a little bit.
Anything for me.
Well,
but hey, it did something for somebody else. So.
Number one grossing movie, these are domestic numbers, was Star Wars The Force Awakens.
Obviously, yeah.
925. It got maybe, 2 nods, 3 nods?
Didn't win anything.
Yeah, it was like sound.
No, but
and
it
some
was
other-
like nominated in,
John Williams.
I believe,
Special
sound
effects.
mixing, editing,
Yeah.
soundtrack. But so that's your number one. Also, then your next thing that's nominated is like Inside Out. Then you have The Martian of the best picture. Like that made 228. When you're dropping down to other movies that were nominated, like Amy. It's a documentary, but it made 8 million.
Really? It made that much? Wow.
Youth, which got
it's
a
a good
nod
doc.
for original song, Simple Song, made $2.6 million. We're jumping from 925 to 2.6. You
a
have
big difference.
Straight Out of Compton coming in 19th on the list for 2015, bringing 161 above Mad Max. This is domestic numbers,
right, yeah.
which came in at 21st place with 153. Creed's right up there with 109. It's ranked 29th.
I was hoping Chris Rock would have asked some of those people if they saw Creed,
Yeah.
because I felt like a lot of them probably would have.
And
I like his Rocky joke in the beginning, like the science fiction Rocky joke.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty funny.
It brought me back to Monday Night Raw when
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy did his Stallone set.
Yeah, of course.
But so good.
Rocky
But then you have these movies. For instance, one of the ones that was really pointed out was Bridge of Spies. People hadn't heard of it or whatnot. Also, The Big Short. Those are coming in 42 and 44. Number 43 is Paul Blart. So the same people,
Mall Cop 2.
the same amount of people who were seeing saw Paul
Yeah.
Blart saw Bridge of Spies and Big Short, which are both nominated for Best
I forgot
Picture.
that even
That's
came
where
out.
your numbers are. Going into like Joy is coming in 52, The Hateful Eight 55, Spotlight, our winner. This was for the 2015
like
number, so
38
it's
or
brand
something?
At the time, I think it's out 39. So
I wonder
yeah,
what the
not
lowest
bad.
Best Picture
but
gross
Room's at
is.
13.
The lowest Best Picture gross of all time that actually won.
The lowest, I'm not sure, but I know that if The Revenant had won, it would have been towards the top.
I bet The Artist.
Oh,
Remember
yes.
that silent film, The Artist, which I really
Yeah.
liked. But
Let's see if I can.
Like 2 people saw that.
I mean, listen, I think it was a good movie. I don't know if it deserved Best Picture, but I can't see a lot of people. It must not have made a lot of money because how many people want to go see a silent film? I even struggled going to go see it, and I really did enjoy it. But I feel like that's probably
And a
up
lot
there.
of people, that was one of the ones where they were like, oh, this is on
Yeah.
Netflix now. I think this won. Let's
Yeah.
check this out.
Yeah, it's-
A
But
silent film is a hard sell in today's day and age, people.
Okay.
To go see a
I mean,
silent
here,
film.
the thing with the Oscars is, look, obviously everybody can't win. But Stallone should have won.
Here's the like. Also, listen, it's hard because a lot of times my number one film of the year doesn't even come close to matching what.
Yeah,
the
Ex Machina.
Oscars-
I thought,
what
what's her
about
name?
this year?
This year I had Mad Max. It was at least it was nominated. I'm lucky it's nominated. Last year was Wolf of Wall Street, so that was nominated. So lately it's been getting a little better. But when it came to Stallone, I really thought he had it because the body of work, and he was just the people's favorite. I guarantee you, we were cheated out
The
of
people champ. It was
we were
people's
cheated-
champ. His timing's right.
Yeah, we were cheated out of the best speech of the night. What Stallone
Okay.
would have killed.
And
it.
a standing ovation.
And the only standing ovation that really mattered would have been Stallone's. There was one other standing ovation.
For the vice president?
Yeah, but that's a different. That's
Nobody
because,
cares about him.
Yeah, that was, and
He
it
got a
also,
standing ovation.
Yeah, but
'Cause they had to do it.
One person stood up first. It was Louis Gossett Jr.
Yeah.
And it took about 15 seconds before everyone else jumped up. If Stallone's name was called, it would have been a standing O from the second his name was
Leo would have
announced.
been the first one up.
Yeah, and Leo got it one too. I'll give him that.
I'm telling you, the only guy
deserved
stood
it.
up for
Alright.
whatever his name is, Mark Rubendahl or
Yeah.
whatever.
That is not his
Spielberg's the only guy who stood
Spielberg's
up.
got a lot of power in Hollywood. That's all I'm saying.
But you have to
give
He
it to-
owns the Oscars.
You have to give it to Spielberg that he does also have very good taste. He's made
he's a
like he
great
works with
director.
the best
No, he's the best.
actors. Like
there's
I
nothing
do,
wrong
you
with
have
the
to
guy.
respect his opinion.
He shouldn't have won though.
Oh, right. You can stand by that. But we're going to move on into international numbers for a little bit. So Deadpool continued to dominate the foreign box office this weekend, picking up $40 million to push the comic book movie's global haul to $600 million globally. And now it's obviously now first place on overseas charts.
That is
Wonderful.
unbelievable amounts of money. This could do $1 billion.
Yes, it's getting very close to The Matrix's
Mm-hmm.
742. It could become the highest grossing R-rated film in history. It could get there, guys.
That
See another,
sequel,
you could see another 100 million domestic possibly if it does another 20 and maybe like 65, 70 domestic.
I want to say right now my dream scenario is if you guys seen, this is a slight spoiler, but not really. If you read any kind of movie news website or if you stayed for after the credits, he tells you there's going to be a sequel to Deadpool. And Cable, who's a very popular character in X-Force comics, will be in the movie. Now that's very exciting because Cable's like a really old guy from the future who has like a scar in his eye, and he's kind of like the straight man to Deadpool's like jokester. He's like super serious, but he's a badass.
So this is what you're looking forward to most.
Yes, and I want to start it right now. Coming off his nomination for Academy Award, I want Stallone to play Cable. Who else better as the straight man who's a badass from the get-go?
I think it might happen.
I'm 100% in.
Thank you. Our engineer agrees.
Bingo.
Go look at the pictures from Expendables 3. There's pictures where he's at part 3 in Expendables. He actually started embracing the gray hair. Stallone is a big bulky guy. Cable is a big bulky guy. Like you give him some white, you let him go full white hair, he could be Cable 100%. And Stallone does have a great sense of humor. It's known, even though he hasn't had good comedies in the past. He's really well known for his sense of humor. I think he'd fit into that Deadpool area.
He was funny in Creed.
You can start one of those like petitions
I'm
where
gonna
you
do a
write out things.
hashtag Stallone as Cable.
I gotta say one thing. Nobody was angrier than Frank Stallone on Twitter.
Yeah.
He was the angriest person on the planet. I mean, Michael Rappaport's number 2.
Yeah,
and then me and JT number 3
I
and 4.
immediately followed Michael Rappaport on Twitter
So
after
did
I saw that.
Yeah, it was immediate.
All right. It's a movie we're going to be probably talking about more towards the end of the show. Zootopia is in our international numbers.
Zootopia.
Yeah.
I'm still working
as
on
they
that
call
lawsuit.
it,
Still
as they
working
call
this
it in Burbank.
All right, so it continued to build up some steam before its domestic
Yeah.
launch here. The animated film about a city filled with anthropomorphic. Is that how you say that?
Don't ask me.
Oh, gosh.
Anthropomorphic. Power Rangers.
Animals pulled in $30 million in its third weekend overseas to finish in second place. It now is screened in more than 40% of the international marketplace, generating $81.4 million to date. So it's already.
Let me tell you, I've
decent.
talked to several people who've seen this movie, and I've heard nothing but rave reviews.
Really?
I mean,
Fantastic.
Well, it's Disney's
this is
first
gonna
thing
be
since
a-
Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, is this Disney?
Yeah, it's Disney's first
Oh, it
movie
is
since
Disney.
Winnie the
That's
Pooh.
right. This could be like, I feel like this could be like this year's Inside Out, because apparently not only is it really good and well told and funny, but it has like a great message to it, and they don't dumb it down. I'm told they don't dumb it down.
That's good. I'm glad because I was not a fan of the sloth scene. It made me so. I was like,
It was funny the
Yeah.
first time I saw it. The problem was you saw it like 5 other times.
And it just takes
yeah.
so long.
Like if I'm gonna take a pee break during that movie, that's when I'm going.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right.
Nobody likes sloths.
The Mermaid,
Only
the
the goonies.
Chinese blockbuster, nabbed third place at the foreign
Yes.
box office. It's
Yes.
earning another $28 million.
Thing's a juggernaut.
It has now grossed $485 million to become China's biggest film in history.
Jesus.
Oh my God.
It's now supposedly easily surpassed Monster Hunt, which had $374 million. What are
Guys.
you? Oh my godding.
The
Oh my
Mermaid
gosh.
is about to pass Monster Hunt for the biggest total ever.
Yeah.
No, it did.
It did. So if we put our money together, we come with an ultra low budget film. We open it in China. We call it the Mermaid Monster Hunt.
Or just the Mermaid Hunt.
People love it.
If we call it the Mermaid Monster Hunt,
Yeah, we'll mash them together.
Should copyright
that's it.
that.
The Mermaid Monster Hunt. It fits together.
Or
and
we
we'll-
could just even better. We can go
in China we'll make
Anthony
Yeah.
and the Mermaid Monster Hunt.
we'll make 10 million opening day just out of curiosity.
Until 100 million.
Before they know that they've been duped,
100.
we'll make our money.
Perfect.
China's upset about the Stallone thing too.
Did they come out with a
he's
statement?
huge.
Yeah, I talked to my buddy Wang
He's
again.
huge in China.
This guy
Alright.
Wang. This guy, he's the guy I get all the numbers.
Do you have a
names
direct
from.
quote?
He's like, yeah, people are pissed off.
Yeah, it might start a world war. I think China might take over the United States just to correct our mistakes.
It could.
They're looking at like these guys are out of control.
I heard that
It'd be
when
interesting if they start incorporating like more American films into like an award show in China.
Oh yeah.
they don't do award shows over there.
But what if they
No?
did?
Yeah, but they don't want to
But
Why?
because they don't want to. They don't do that. They're not judged by that.
Okay.
Yeah, they're
All
not
right.
judged by trophies.
Fantasy adventure gods of Egypt failed to find salvation with foreign audiences after flopping in the domestic box office. The $140 million epic picked up $24.2 million from 69 territories, which included major markets like Russia and Brazil. So
Who gives
poor
the yes
start.
on these movies? Where's the yes going?
I'm sure
People
you
should be
could
fired
like,
for stuff like this.
I'm sure they were like, Gerard Butler's like the successor to Russell Crowe. We're gonna make the next big Gladiator. Like,
Yeah, but this is
I
not.
don't
This
know.
is like on a green screen
Got
again.
a weird sci-fi element to it, and the fact again, you see the poster for this thing or the trailers, Gods of Egypt. They're white, English, Australian
and
actors.
They,
You're
yes,
like,
and
what
they've
is-
already come
That's
out and said that that's horrible. But
yeah.
sigh. Rounding up the top 5 is The Revenant, which added $14.1 million to its total, pushing the survival drama past the $400 million mark worldwide.
It might actually
That's really-
break even.
Yeah.
I think it has to do 440
It's
or
got
something like that.
but the budget is 140. That's not clean PR.
Yeah, no, I think
It's-
it had to do 400
they're
or
done.
something like that.
But they
It's
got
close.
recognition and they got their Oscars
Yeah,
and
Leo
And there's
got his
Leo
Oscars.
memes.
there's
you know, Leo memes are everywhere.
That's a ton of publicity.
Yeah.
So, and thank you, international numbers. Now we can go on to a game. Or is that our plan?
Yeah.
Are
Is
you
that our
laughing?
plan?
I don't
That's
know.
the plan.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
do it
See, even he was
international.
confused by that laugh. I was like,
it's time for the international title game.
Al esfuerzo y al heroísmo de una revolución no los queremos.
did you both just take a moment of silence?
That was a protest to the Academy.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
I
doesn't
agree with
deserve
him.
it. The box office, the
I
money
agree with
that
him.
goes to the people that make these movies don't deserve it.
I was really looking forward to crying last night for the first time in a really long time. And
I
didn't
did
get a-
cry,
and I didn't get a chance
but it
to
wasn't
do
the
that.
kind of cry I was hoping for.
Yeah, tears of joy
That's what you
are
wanted.
something I haven't had in a really long time.
Couldn't you just like put that happiness on like when he won other awards?
No,
Listen,
we
because
were
this,
ecstatic
this
when
is the gold standard.
Listen, we were super excited on the show when he won the Golden Globe.
Yeah.
The reason why I was so excited when he won that Golden Globe on his show was because it was that one step closer to solidifying that he would win the Oscar.
Okay.
So all that was, I mean, Golden Globes are kind of a joke. I get it.
Yeah.
But he won the Critics' Choice. I was like, okay, you got the Critics' Choice. Now he didn't win
Won
the
this-
BAFTA because Creed didn't release in London,
That's
England,
correct.
in time for the BAFTAs, so you couldn't even be nominated.
But this guy, we're just surprised the guy didn't win it.
No, he didn't. Idris Elba did.
Boom.
This guy hadn't won nothing. He won. I think he won like the SAG, which is definitely showing you that he had a chance to win this thing.
Yeah.
Sure.
But I mean, the proof was on the screen. That's what I don't get.
That's
you know when I
exactly
knew I
right.
was in trouble? You know when I knew we were in trouble? Right, the last.
When Patricia Arquette came out?
No, not only that was small of it. They showed the clips for each supporting actor. Stallone was the last one, and usually I'm like, ooh, the last one. It's alphabetical, but maybe a little sign that he's going to be the last one to show it. But then the clip they chose wasn't even close to his best scene in the movie.
It wasn't.
It was when he's just talking and he's like, you're going to have to not give up. If you're going to show an Oscar clip, you show the locker room scene.
Absolutely.
It's almost like the Academy knew he wasn't going to win. They're like, let's not remind him how good he really was.
It was a
Right
conspiracy.
before he
You're
loses.
100% right.
If you put the clip of him talking to Adonis in the locker room right
Patricia
before...
Arquette might have just said his name just for shits and giggles.
Just for shits and giggles. People would have been like, what
How'd the guy lose?
What did we
you just
just
watch?
see?
Did you watch that?
They purposely put one of his lesser scenes in the movie. Listen, I don't want to call it lesser scene because he's not capable of that.
Yeah.
But they put one of the scenes that didn't showcase his Oscar moment just to soften up the hate.
I think I have to take the blame for that
I
rant
agree.
because I set
Sorry.
it up that this was a moment of
I
silence
agree.
and it just went off.
That was a good rant.
Sorry.
It was perfect.
I apologize.
Does that count as the game or? Are we...
No, anyway, we're going
No, it's-
foreign titles game, and we're going obviously with Stallone here.
Thank you.
He's like, it's. I mean,
to
I
give him
spent
the
all
honor
day.
that he should have.
I ran like
received.
5 mountains today.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay. So, yeah, everything's coming from China.
Okay.
My buddy Wang filled me in on this one. This guy's the best. You guys, I'm gonna try to have him. If he,
Get him on the show.
if I can, if he could come here,
Get him to call in.
I could. And I get Wang
there
to
you
call
go.
in.
Yeah, there we go.
Wonderful.
It's very,
Well, just make sure they accept the long
very
distance
little
charges,
English.
okay?
Oh, sure thing.
Very
Because the
little
long
English.
distance it's going to be a penny.
This guy's, he's very little English.
Okay.
The Specialist.
The Specialist.
Yeah.
Sharon Stone, James Woods, magnificent.
Designed Devil.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Back to the
Okay.
devil stuff. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Him and Arnold.
Staying Alive.
Oh, directed by Stallone. Like he has a cameo.
Flamboyant Dragon. Yeah, because he runs into Travolta in the beginning with a mink on, with his hair flowing.
While
He's
he's
the
doing
best.
a strut.
Guy should have won the Oscar for that. The Go-Go Boys. The inside story of Canon Films.
Oh
What?
yeah.
He voiced it or something.
But what's the title?
It's called The Go-Go Boys. The inside story of Canon Films.
That's the full title.
Yeah, it's like a doc.
Wow, that's a long.
What's the foreign title?
Movie Mad Man Dreams.
Okay.
Okay, because that studio made Over the Top. That's why.
Yeah. Nighthawks.
Oh, fantastic film. Comes out on Blu-ray in a month, everybody.
Is this in-
Does it really?
Pre-order your copy.
See, they were bracing for the Oscar. They knew when to capitalize. It's called Ebony and Ivory.
Oh.
That's
If you
the
know
fake
the
one.
movie, that it could make sense. But I hope it.
Well,
That's the fake
It
one.
was Billy D. Williams right after
That's
Lando.
the fake one.
It was right after Lando. He
That
was
is-
doing all the
that
Colt
is-
45 commercials. Every single person
So
in the
fake
world, even white chicks, loved him.
Yeah.
He had a Jerry curl before Ice Cube and everybody.
Yeah.
He was the best. I just bought a Lando Calrissian figure on the internet the other day.
I did the
just
same.
to have in my collection.
I did it too, but I redid it to make it a Nighthawks character.
Really?
Yeah, just bought the same jacket
the
off
best.
of G.I. Joe.
That's fantastic. It's a great
It's pretty
idea.
It's called creativity.
That's an amazing idea. Okay, so the Specialist, Design Devil, Staying Alive, Flamboyant Dragon, The Go-Go Boys, the inside story of Canon Films, producers of Over the Top, with Robert Loggia, movie Mad Man Dreams, and Nighthawks. I guess they took it off the Michael Jackson, Paul McCartney hit. Ebony and Ivory, because Michael Jackson's big in China,
Well, I
and so
still
is Paul
think
McCartney.
Ebony and
I'm
Ivory
just
is
saying.
fake, but I do think that you have improved JT's mood. He's now smiling.
He just has a. I almost want to. I'm gonna say Ebony and Ivory.
Okay.
But I want to be wrong.
Okay.
So bad.
All right.
Oh gosh.
Ebony and Ivory.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying too?
Yes.
And Joe?
Engineer?
I'm going with Flamboyant Dragon.
Ooh,
yeah.
taking the alternate route.
That's a good one. Travolta is a flamboyant dragon. He's the best. Obviously, you guys are right. Ebony and
Yeah,
Ivory's not it. But they should have called it that. It would have been pretty amazing if they did.
Well, they didn't. All right. So this.
Not your best, but good
Thank
try.
you. Thank you for bringing joy to JTE. I'm glad you're both smiling now and have entertained yourselves.
I mean, if anyone could
Yeah.
get Stallone.
We are going to go. Okay, you cannot devote this entire section completely between the two of you to Stallone. You can't.
No. I won't.
Okay, because we are about to do
won't.
top 5 Oscar snubs.
Yes.
And instead of doing
everybody's tops.
yeah, so I'm gonna add in a few, but not a full 5. You have a full 5 for us.
I do.
We can throw things in. Everyone's welcome to the
And we're
conversation.
not just talking nominations. We're talking wins also.
We're talking
I'll-
nominations, we're talking
Yeah,
wins,
anything you want.
we're talking recent, we're talking this, we're talking all time.
Okay.
I got a
But
couple here.
Let's start with the most prepared list. Go
Um,
ahead.
Number 5. I mean, in no particular order here.
Mm-hmm.
I think number 5.
but number 5.
Yeah. Raging Bull loses to Ordinary People. I think this is the worst snub possibly of all time, in my opinion. Raging Bull was a
Before last
complete and utter masterpiece, while Ordinary People was just that.
It's a forgettable.
Ordinary.
That's my biggest thing is like I don't like when forgettable movies, especially when you know they're going to be forgettable.
Nobody
win.
wants to watch that.
I want-
Anybody will
But I
watch
could say that for.
Raging Bull.
good-
It's fantastic.
Do you think Spotlight is forgettable?
Yes.
Okay.
Somewhat.
Okay.
Yes. It'll be forgotten. It'll be in the $2.99 7-Eleven when you're buying like loaded Doritos at night at Comic-Con in 5 years.
All right. I
Raging Bull should have won,
You've got
period.
Raging Bull.
2. Denzel losing to Al Pacino in Scent of a Woman for Scent of a Woman. Al Pacino was Scent of a Woman. Denzel was Malcolm X. Denzel was Malcolm X. He was him. He completely crushed it. And no credit to Spike Lee because just Denzel's that good. I think he actually became him, and he should have won. Period.
Great,
and if you ask me, he probably, I think he ran circles around Tom Hanks in Philadelphia as well. Denzel's one of the best actors of all time. Period.
Also, we do have I believe we have a chat rolling. It's a little too far away for me to see it, but if we have anything that you find,
If you can read
load.
it. Here's another one.
there.
Goodfellas loses the Dances with Wolves. Now hear me out.
Yes.
I mean, Costner was the cool
don't
guy.
think I could say
Costner
it
was the
was
cool guy at that point. There's no question about
You
that.
take Dance with Wolves over Goodfellas?
But
I was like made to watch Dances with Wolves.
it
when I
was
younger. I was, like,
long-winded.
told to.
It was long-winded like every other Costner movie.
Okay.
Okay. Goodfellas was long, and I wanted it to be longer. This is a fantastic film.
Okay,
Two of these
fun.
things on here are Scorsese is the biggest Oscar snub of all time. He should have won for Taxi Driver, probably. Well, no, because Rocky won that year.
Yeah, that was right.
And Taxi Driver lost
To Rocky, which is right, obviously.
It was a slip up.
Which is right.
Yeah.
Now, look, he went for Departed, obviously. Everybody knows how I feel about that. I thought Casino might have been the best film that one year as well. Goodfellas, you're the king of comedy. Every movie this guy makes should be nominated for Best Picture. It's that good. This is a tough one here. Mickey Rourke loses to Sean Penn. Sean Penn was milk. Everybody knows I love Sean Penn. He's the best.
The greatest.
Clearly. And he slept with probably half the girls on stage yesterday presenting. Maybe all of them. But it was Mickey's year. It was Mickey's show. He destroyed that.
I was going for Mickey.
He
first.
had
Sorry.
the swagger. He was bringing dogs up to the podium. He was thanking Eric Roberts. This guy, Mickey Rourke, he should have won that Oscar. God damn it.
He also thanks Stallone heavily that award season.
Yes,
because
he did.
Stallone gave him a shot back and Get Carter.
Absolutely.
Even though it wasn't a hit, it got him back in Hollywood.
Look, Sean was great as milk. No question about it.
Fantastic.
But it was Mickey's Oscar. Period.
All right. I'm gonna chime in with some. I've gotten the chat roll.
I got one more. Just one more.
You can keep going. I'm just throwing some out there. For instance,
Okay,
Evan
go ahead.
Coyne did Jim Carrey not nominated for The Truman Show? Who is
That's a snub.
up on this?
He wasn't even
people
nominated.
Are agreeing with the Raging Bull. Let's see what else we have. We have people saying Jurassic World should have won Best Picture
You're out
of
of
all
your mind.
time.
Come on.
Come on.
It's on here. Field of Dreams.
Good movie.
On here. Let's see. We're bouncing all around in the conversation,
this
but
one?
people are talking.
Put
The King's Speech. Can I just say I didn't think that movie was very good.
No.
I don't think Tom Hooper is that great of a director.
No, that's the
to be honest.
Weinstein Company coming
And I
through.
think Social Network should have won Best Picture that year. instead of
Absolutely.
King's Speech.
That was a
All right.
fantastic film.
People always talk about Social Network for years
On the
now.
chat board,
Yes, on the chat
make
board.
sure they say if it says, "Hey, this person beat out something." Let's have comparables here, not
All
just
right.
"Hey, this should have won."
A lot of people are saying Shakespeare in Love or not
Saving
a lot.
Private
Greg,
Ryan.
yes, I love Shakespeare in Love. I love both movies, so I don't
The
pick
first
a side of that
25
debate.
or the first 45 minutes of Saving Private Ryan is probably the best 45 minutes of a film to start a film ever. Period.
I mean, a lot of times.
now it got a little
I
boring
love
towards
that
the end,
movie,
but it is what
but-
it is.
But a lot of times, time will tell you who the correct winner was.
Mm-hmm.
I watched
only
both
time-
of those movies.
The only time Shakespeare in Love is brought up in today's pop culture is when it's being said, how the hell did Shakespeare in Love beat Saving Private
Yes,
Ryan?
that's
maybe,
true.
Maybe,
I've never heard anyone ever
maybe
say-
Or with
for
Gwyneth-
you,
Gwyneth Paltrow's,
maybe
like,
for
cooking
you, but
something
when
on
it comes
TV.
to Shakespeare adaptations, it is definitely mentioned because they intertwine so much of his writing.
Okay.
So you're like when people talk about like or Othello or how they've taken Shakespearean works and recrafted them, like Shakespeare in Love is mentioned, and its production
Really?
design is fantastic.
Well, I was going to say, because like Henry V by Kenneth Branagh, I hear a lot when his film, even Mel
the
Gibson's
original
Macbeth.
Hamlet, like
I mean, but even Romeo, I hear about Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and
Yeah.
Juliet more than I ever hear about Shakespeare.
I've heard about all
Yes,
of them.
that's
and
true.
I love them all. Let's see. Moving on.
I got one real quick.
Well, let's hear it.
For animated picture, I forget what year, Shrek won over Monsters, Inc., which I think is just absolute garbage.
Shrek went over Monsters Inc.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what though? Monsters Inc. is good. Shrek is good. I don't think either.
It's an
really-
opinion thing.
Yeah, it's an opinion thing. I will say, was it 2 years ago? Lego Movie was shut out from
Shrek made a ton of
which
money
totally
too.
it I think it lost to Brave. No, whatever Brave won that year. I remember it was up against something that shouldn't have won.
I can't
Probably,
remember off the top of my head.
Might have been Frozen.
It might have been Frozen.
might
Is
have been
right. Frozen was just a
That's
juggernaut. But that's the same thing with Shrek. It made $1 zillion.
Don't judge these things off money, people.
One of the biggest snubs of all time as well. I mean, Val Kilmer wasn't even nominated for Tombstone, and that might have been the best supporting
that's
actor
a tough
performance of all time.
That's a good one. I didn't think about that one.
Speaking of supporting actor, this is where I'm going to throw this one in. My snub for this year was the kid from Room.
This is where I disagree with you.
Jacob Tremblay. Yeah, but give me your
What, the
argument.
little kid? He was there, wasn't he there?
But he wasn't nominated. He's
Okay.
been nominated at almost every other award show,
Yeah, he
and
was
he did
fantastic.
not get nominated for an Oscar, and he was amazing.
I would argue he should have been the lead.
If you argue he should have been lead, then I would argue that Alicia Vikander should have been lead.
I agree with you.
But
Alicia Vikander should have won for Ex Machina.
Yeah,
She was better than Brie
that
Larson.
would have been a better
she should have
supporting
been
actress win.
She should have been nominated for lead for Danish Girl and supporting for Ex Machina.
I agree with that.
And the Tremblay kid, he is the star of that movie. It is his perspective throughout. Yeah, Brie Larson's there, but there's even parts of the movie where she disappears, and it's
So
just
that's
the
a
kid
lead.
carrying the movie.
That's a lead.
That is true.
Plus, you know what? They didn't want to put him as supporting actor.
in the category then?
For best actor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who would you have kicked out?
Bryan Cranston, you're out of here.
Oh, I love
I would have put him in. I
would-
would have put him in best supporting and kicked out Mark Ruffalo, whatever his name is.
I would have almost put him in best supporting and almost kicked out everyone.
You're lucky you didn't say Sly. You're real lucky.
Again, if Ruffalo would have won, or even like Tom Hardy, or if Idris Elba was in there instead of
Yeah, he should have been
somebody,
there too.
you know, like instead
Both
of Mark
of the
Rylance,
both of the leads from
or even Benicio del Toro was in there instead of Mark Rylance, I wouldn't be so angry.
Benicio crushed in
But
Sicario.
but you're telling me Mark Rylance did better than Sly? You're just I know there's listen. I know some of you
That's-
out there do believe Mark Rylance gave a great performance. I think he gave a decent performance,
Look,
but I don't think he gave her a Force of Stallone.
Bridge of Spies was a subpar movie at best. It's totally forgettable. It's going to be in the bin at Comic-Con for $2.99 when Ken's buying loaded Doritos. He might pick up Bridge of Spies for another $1 as well.
When you're talking Spielberg films and you're ranking them, Bridge of Spies will be in the bottom. You tell
Yeah, absolutely.
It's going to be down there with Hook, even though some people love that movie.
I love Hook.
I like Hook too, but it's not going to be up there with Catch Me If You Can is a far superior movie than Bridge of Spies.
Stallone gets cancer in the movie, and he's no spoiler, and he still trains the guy.
Yeah.
Also, people are just before we round up this
should've
conversation,
won.
I think
gotta
we
get
get
Frank
to,
on the phone
everyone
to
can
call Frank
kind
later.
of talk about Oscar snubs for ages. One that is keeps coming up is Shawshank over and over again.
That was
One of my
tough
it's one of my favorite movies of all
Also,
time.
a more recent one, Jake Gyllenhaal from Nightcrawler.
Yes.
So that
Totally
I
with you
also
guys on
agree
that
with.
one.
That was a great movie.
Gyllenhaal should have been nominated.
Who beat Shawshank?
This is what happened. Shawshank,
It was a good movie.
It was a
Listen,
really good year.
Listen,
Yeah.
it was Pulp Fiction.
Oof.
But it was
Forrest
Forrest
Gump.
Gump.
Oof.
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump one.
It's Shawshank. Those were the 2-3 that were vying for the.
You know,
Who do you give it
I
to?
can't really fault anything there. Those
the
are just
thing
three
is-
great movies.
Shawshank is so incredible.
It's
but
incredible.
Forrest Gump, when it comes to like every category, it has so much.
Pulp Fiction changed the way movies were being made after
That's
it came
true.
out.
But Shawshank
I love Shawshank.
made me want to watch more movies. It was so good.
Those
Morgan
are-
Freeman crushed that.
I'm actually,
Everybody crushed that.
I love Forrest Gump, but I might have put Pulp Fiction or Shawshank over it that year.
Interesting.
And I
Interesting.
love Forrest Gump.
All right, guys.
I would take
we don't
Shawshank
have
out of that.
too much longer, and if we want to have time to get to any callers,
yeah.
remember the number is 424-253-0749.
Michael Rappaport,
He's
call
the
in.
best. Please.
We will get into some upcoming films. To start off the talk, we're going to go to London Has Fallen, not to be confused with Olympus Has Fallen.
Not to be confused with Gods of Egypt or 300
Yeah.
or any
Yeah,
other
with any
shitbox
of
movie
these
Gerard
movies.
Butler's in. No offense, Gerard. I like it.
Now, the first movie was called Olympus Has Fallen, and it's about the White House being attacked. And basically, Olympus is a code word for White House. White House has fallen. This one takes place in London.
Yes.
London
It's rated R.
It's rated R. It gets attacked, so it's fallen. I'm working on a script called Hollywood Has Fallen.
Yeah.
and it all takes place just like these movies takes place in one day or night.
Yeah.
It's an aftermath.
I feel like
Stallone losing
lost
the
night.
best supporting actor in L.A. going to riots.
Yeah.
And the movie is Gerard Butler trying to
I
get Mark
agree.
Rylance out of Hollywood alive.
I think you
I'm
just
sure that
changed
everybody
our
would.
show box office breakdown to JTE comes up with movie scripts.
He's got great
On
I
ideas.
mean,
spot.
that is an amazing idea.
I'll tell
Gerard
you-
Butler trying to.
I wouldn't be surprised if people were on the stairs in Philly last night protesting.
Oh, if I was in
All
Philly.
right,
You know?
but London is Falling is
Yeah.
coming out. Yes, Gerard Butler is in another
Back-to-back.
film. Morgan Freeman is also in it. Angela
Returning.
Bassett. So
Well, Fuqua was supposed to direct.
He directed
the first one.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But he hated the script for this.
Oh, really?
And was like, I want to change it. And they're like, no. They're like, I'm out of here. He's gone.
That was it.
Yeah.
and that was the end of the discussion.
And there you go. And yeah,
Did
good
you
luck
guys-
with London
So-
Falling. Good
Did
luck
you
with
like
that.
Olympus? It was like an okay throwback to 80s, but not quite
They
good.
kind of, all of those blend into each other. White House Down,
White House Down was
Olympus
bad.
Has Fallen.
Yeah, it was terrible.
They all like kind of go in the same category in my head where I'm
Gotcha.
like, okay, I'll watch this if like I'm doing 3 other things while watching it.
Well, the problem
But-
is the thing with the first movie is like the White House is going down.
Yeah.
Like, what do you like? That's I mean, it's kind of exciting.
Morgan
as
Freeman's like, what, the Secretary of Defense in every single
Listen,
movie?
so as us, we could be like, oh man, the White House is going down. That's a huge deal.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like London's fallen. Okay, are they
Yeah.
attacking Big Ben? That doesn't
Yeah, is
really
it
give me
Tony
the
Blair?
same thing. Now, if they were attacking like the Rocky statue and it took place in Philadelphia,
It's
then
called
I'd be,
Trump has
Alright.
Fallen. Everybody
So-
watch
Trump
it.
has fallen. That'd be
That would be very
So it's
interesting.
surprising he's going to win the presidency.
So
I'm not voting for I'm not voting
we're
for him,
not
but he's
getting
going to
there.
win.
We're not going there.
Yeah, he's
But
going to win the
we're not
Republican
going there.
primary.
London Has Fallen has 3,200 theaters. The only thing beating it out in theater numbers that's coming
Zootopia?
out is Zootopia, which is
Yeah.
having 37. We've already heard great
Rave
word of
reviews, yeah.
mouth.
Mhm.
It's already been released internationally. I think people are really anticipating it. They did marketing during like
Yeah.
Super Bowl, all sorts of stuff. I think it's Disney.
we're going to
got
be
big bucks
talking.
coming.
We're going to
Yeah.
be talking about this movie for about the next 2 months because I don't see it going anywhere.
I think it
And there's nothing really coming out instead of
Even
it.
Batman v Superman, this is such counter programming. It's gonna just keep
It'll-
making money.
it'll
It's
bust
gonna
out the gate
do
at
what
75 million
Kung Fu Panda
probably.
did. It's gonna have legs.
but more.
Yeah, but Kung Fu opened like 30
I think
something.
the
This is gonna
next
do
big
70.
animation comes out in April.
Maybe. Yeah, April, May.
April?
Yeah.
Oh, I might
Yeah,
have
it's
to
Bridge of
look that up
Spies,
again.
the animation movie.
And I'm telling you, the rave reviews I'm hearing, this is gonna have legs, legs, and legs.
Yes, we'll
took
see if
them
maybe this is a
6 years.
possible. Maybe any chance of being nominated for animation next year.
And it's early, but
Like a
it's-
movie was
it's-
early too, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it's definitely. Is Pixar got anything coming out this year?
I'm sure they
Oh,
do.
Finding
Finding
Nemo.
Dory.
Yeah, Finding
Dory. Yeah.
All right, we'll see how that one does.
$1 billion.
So, also coming out, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot.
Also known as what happened at the Oscars yesterday. What the fuck?
You can't say that on air.
What the yeah. Well,
What's the code word? Is that
What
the
the
code word?
F?
yeah, it's Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. It's
Yes.
WTF.
That is the abbreviation. It is starring Tina Fey. For me, it looks so
Yeah.
much like Our Brand Is Crisis,
Yeah,
which
that's a good
flopped.
point.
Yeah, but no,
don't-
yeah, but this has some funny elements to it.
I know that,
just
but
Tina
like,
Fey.
And
they
I think
just remind
Billy
me of
Bob
each
Thornton's
other.
in it too.
No. is
Yeah, I
he?
think he is.
Bruce isn't Bruce Willis in it?
Let
no, I'm
me
thinking
find
of Rock
out.
the Cash. I'm thinking of Rock the Cash. Whatever.
What's
Oh, Margot
he-
Robbie's in this. She plays
Margot
like
Robbie
her friend.
is in this.
I think
but
Billy Bob Thornton's in it.
supposedly so far not the best word of mouth.
Oh, what do we got?
For instance, a quote from Variety, a review,
They know nothing.
film review of Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. This is by Justin Chang.
I know
The
him.
title of Whiskey Tango Foxtrot is in some ways more interesting to contemplate than the movie itself.
Okay.
Heard the memoirs were good.
Also, for instance,
Is Billy
starring
Bob
this-
in?
I don't know off the top of my head. Tina Fey, journalist, basically it says this also from this article. This haphazard fish out of water dramedy tries to show how the rush of war, blah, 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 but never really hits the surreal, satirical groove it's aiming for.
Wow.
So not glorious.
Yeah.
So it's
yes.
really Whiskey Tango Foxtrot.
I mean, I like Tina Fey, but
Just not. Maybe it's just trying to step out.
That sister movie wasn't that bad, but I don't know. The trailers have interested me. I might just lay low until Batman v Superman comes out.
Whiskey Tango Foxtrot.
I might see London Has Fallen. I need to hear some word of mouth. The fact that it comes out this Friday, I haven't heard anything.
You're not going to see your movie, Zootopia or whatever?
I'll see Zootopia when it comes in theaters, but not Zootopia.
Well, everybody's looking for
Protesting?
it. Yeah, but what everybody's looking for in May is called it's JT's biopic.
And you were correct. Billy Bob Thornton is
there you
in
go, you're right.
WTF.
Obviously the Gigolo of Burbank.
Gigolo Burbank,
Yeah, in May.
Can't wait.
This May.
It looks like Deadline did come out with a more positive review for
Okay, so
Whiskey Tango.
so mixed.
Let's get into a little bit of predictions before we get to a call or so. Really, so we have the contenders, our current box office, Deadpool at 30.
Interesting
The
one.
number 5 was at 6. We're going to see a lot of rearranging.
Yep.
Let's get into it. JT, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, sure. Number 1 will be Zootopia.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to just explode. Trailers have been really good.
I'd say 75 million.
Yeah.
75 million.
That's high. I don't know about that.
They're ready
say
for it.
Zootopia number 2. This is where I'm struggling. It's either gonna be Deadpool or London Has Fallen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give it to London Has Fallen because I think it has a pretty good life once it hit home video.
Yeah, and Olympus Has
Netflix.
Fallen made 30.
Yeah, I could see it making 25 to 20 to 30.
Yeah, you might be
I
right.
don't know if it'll make more because I don't think trailers have been great. And then number 3, I'll go Deadpool. I don't think Whiskey Tango's even gonna make the top 5. So from there,
You don't think Whiskey Tango is going to make the top 5?
No, I don't think. Who do you got besides Tina Fey?
I don't even care about who's in
Billy
it.
Bob Thornton,
You're talking
Margot
about our 5th spot. Our 3rd spot is at 8 million. Our 3rd spot, if it goes down to like 4, like we need a movie that makes more than like $4 million.
I'm not thinking. Stallone is lost. My world's in shambles.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm with them.
All right. I'm gonna go number 4, Kung Fu Panda. No, I'll go number 4.
What?
I'll
Whiskey
do
Tango.
Whiskey Tango
Thank you.
4, and then I'll give
5
it.
Creed.
I'll give it to Risen for 5.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
There you go.
Kung Fu Panda's gonna take a hit, and Risen's not gonna. It's still got some people. Want to
Yeah,
see
what
it.
happened to the race? They blew that. They should have
race.
opened the. They should have opened the race
All
around
right.
the Olympics. What
Mine's-
a stupid move.
That is
dumb
true, and a
move.
lot
That's
of
a good
people
point.
are agreeing with you. A lot of people say that race should have utilized that. It had no reason that
Yeah,
it
why
had
not?
to come out
It's
now.
like opening a
and
baseball
didn't do-
movie in football season.
All right.
Stupid.
JT, I'm really in line with you. I think Zootopia is coming in number 1, London Has Fallen number
No,
2,
Zootopia.
Deadpool number 3. Fine, I'll change it to Zootopia. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot number 4. I am going to give it to Gods and of Egypt because I mean if it drops 60%, it's still gonna get
Wait, what
more.
did you have? Zootopia? What?
Zootopia number 1.
Yeah.
London.
Yeah.
Deadpool.
Yeah.
Whiskey Tango Foxtrot.
Right.
Gods of Egypt.
Interesting. Okay.
My God.
Zootopia or Zootopia?
So we're all on board for that.
Yeah,
Great.
Zootopia. I'd watch that in 2 seconds. What would be the premise, though?
It's like we bought a zoo, but with me.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Will the
Keep
chicks be
going.
there?
Oh, of course.
Okay, perfect. Deadpool number 2.
Okay.
I don't think London Has Fallen is going to beat this movie. I think London Has Fallen can come out maybe like 16, 17. I think Deadpool can do 20
Okay.
because Zootopia is going to smash.
I mean, I definitely think that London Has Fallen and Whiskey Tango Foxtrot and all
There's
of this
2
is
Gerard
like,
Butler movies that
Yeah.
you're going to see him double 2 weeks in a row. Nobody wants to see that guy's face 2 weeks in a row. Not even the chicks he dates.
All right, keep going.
3rd is London Has Fallen. 4 is Whiskey Tango
Foxtrot.
Foxtrot. And I think this is a tough one here. I don't think this stupid movie's gonna make it. You know what? I'm gonna go with Kung Fu Panda number 5. I think there's still enough room.
All right. All right.
All right.
That is a strong game. All right. So this, I think we have time for a couple,
got
maybe
Deadpool
2
too?
quick calls.
Deadpool you
Let's
got too?
get a
I think so.
caller
I
on
think
the
it'll do- I think it'll do 20.
You're
line.
done. Quick calls.
JT?
Hey, welcome to Box Office Breakdown. Who we got? Who we talking to here?
This is Cooper from Houston.
Cooper from Houston. How outraged are you that Stallone lost last night? Or are you a Rylance supporter?
This is the primary question of the day.
Oh, no. Trust me, I was livid
yes.
last night.
This is America. This is America, everybody.
Did you disagree with any of the other winners, or were you excited about any of the other winners?
I mean, I'm happy for Leo. I was really happy for Alicia Vikander, even though I thought she was better in Ex Machina.
Absolutely.
But happy that she won.
Mm-hmm. They might have given
Everything else was pretty standard, but that was... I don't know what happened.
All right, well, let's
Tom,
Cooper,
you said my theory. She had 2 that were up there that should have been nominated, and when you, the more you got, the more likely you are to get it.
It's like when McConaughey won for Dallas Buyers. He also won for True Detective.
And Jamie Foxx, same thing.
Yeah, because anyone who would have voted for Ex Machina was like, well, you're still going to get one.
Was great in Terminal and great in Ray.
Cooper, you got a quick question? We're trying to go these calls quick today. What do you got?
No, I just really wanted to call just to have like a quick therapy session.
God bless you. Stay strong, brother.
I know it's pretty amazing stuff.
Pick up Creed, comes out on Blu-ray and DVD tomorrow and digital.
Yeah,
all right, let's get next call.
Don't even worry, I'm there. Keep killing, guys.
Tweet me a picture of everybody that's listening right now. You buy this movie, tweet me and I'll retweet it of you buying this movie. I want a picture of you with the DVD or Blu-ray in your hand.
Yeah, and I get a follow back too.
All right, thanks, Cooper. Next.
Do we have another caller?
We got another one. Hey, welcome to Box Office Breakdown. Who do we got?
Hello, this is Miles from St. Louis.
Hey, Miles.
St. Louis. Sorry about your Rams, but listen.
Yeah, they're back here now. They're here now.
You got a hard year. The Rams left and Stallone loses. How are you feeling about it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's whatever.
It's not whatever.
We still have the Cardinals and we still have the Blues. So.
What did you think about the Oscars last night as a whole? What did you think of Chris Rock's performance?
I mean, I thought Chris Rock was fine. One of the better performances in the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. He added an element.
Girl Scout cookies stole the show, in my opinion.
Yeah.
$55,000.
Leo really loved those Girl Scout cookies. I thought Leo should have vaped and thanked all the 20-year-old Ukrainians he sleeps with. But that's just me.
So do you have a top 5 or a question or a favorite moment from the Oscars that you can share with us? Because we've got to wrap up kind of quickly here.
No, I just have a question. It's about Birth of a Nation's getting a lot of Oscar buzz for like next year. My question was, if you've watched the trailer for Appreciate Jones, do you think that's just going to be a summer blockbuster, or do you think it's going to end up being possibly an Oscar contender?
Which film, Birth of a Nation?
Yeah, like the Birth of a Nation's already getting Oscar buzz for this upcoming year.
They've already said that they set a release, I believe, for September, October. So they're already aiming for that Oscar prestige.
I don't think it's going to bring in like huge numbers, but it'll.
Similar to probably 12 Years a Slave a couple years ago.
So much,
I've heard,
this is the Sundance movie, right?
Yes, this is the one that I talked to Alicia Malone and Scott Mance. They both did not love it as much as the press were giving it. I think Sundance sometimes could get a little bit...
This thing was bought for $17 million.
We are definitely going to be talking about it because we have some inside information about that later, but we'll get into it as the year goes on. But definitely I think it has Oscar buzz already, just like The Danish Girl did. They normally still track pretty well. All right. So we do have to say thank you,
Thanks for the call,
everyone. Thank you for watching us here at Box Office Breakdown on the Popcorn Talk Network. And for sticking with us because it is Monday. We were not here yesterday because of the Oscars. It's a holiday in LA. No one goes to work. What is that?
Well, no, that's true.
But we will be back next Sunday per usual time. You can find us online. Definitely go on iTunes, rate, subscribe, Facebook, YouTube, all of those things. We also have Twitters at Sarah_Stretton. You guys.
I'm at Schmoes JT. Like I said, go buy Creed. It comes out tomorrow on DVD and Blu-ray and digital. Tweet me that you bought it, and I'll retweet it. Also, I got a Kickstarter for a new movie called Birth of the Nation, where it's about the year 1976, where the year Rocky came out and won Best Picture. Because that was the birth of the nation.
That actually was. It was the birth of America. At Bob Finstock. Tweet at Frank Stallone and tell him to watch the show.
Same thing with Michael Rappaport.
Yeah, both of them. If we can get them on here, that would be fantastic.
I'm going to work on Michael. I think I get him.
I think we can.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Poof.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.